NYPD officers coming under fire during day 2 of a rare judicial inquiry over the death of Eric Garner. Officer Justin D'Amico testified that he never heard Garner saying, "I can't breathe," when he was being restrained. Officer D'Amico also revealed inconsistencies in the paperwork that he filed related to Garner's arrest. Attorney Alvin Bragg, who's also running for Manhattan DA, by the way, is representing Eric Garner's mother, demanding more police accountability in this case.
The fact that we sit here, 7 years after Mr. Garner was killed and don't know basic facts, that's an embarrassment. All New Yorkers should be embarrassed by that.
So the judicial inquiry is focused on the use of force and the accuracy of internal reports filed by officers in the wake of Garner's death. Now, NYPD Commissioner Dermot Shea vowed to make the department more transparent about their actions, and the commissioner joining me this morning with his reaction to talk about this and more. So good morning to you, Commissioner. Thanks for being here.
Thanks. Thanks, Dan.
So, Commissioner, let me get to this topic first now that this hearing is underway. It's very unique because there will be no ruling by a judge nor a jury verdict, right? The family of Eric Garner hoping for answers and more transparency. You've pledged to do that. Is there anything out of this hearing that could change departmentally and overall just your thoughts here?
Yeah, as I hear this, and I just heard some of the comments leading in, I think the transparency here is key. For all New Yorkers to hear. I think a lot of New Yorkers have a good understanding of what transpired that day. It's hard to believe it's been 7 years in July, but I also worry, and I'm being honest here, about bringing this up again and reliving that. But at the same time, it's really important to do that. So I think, we'll get through it as a city. It's important for the family that lost somebody that day. It's for the members that are called, it's important that they, testify. And as a city, hopefully we hear, we learn from it, and we move forward.
And, Commissioner, the testimony is coming just 1 week after the Civilian Complaint Review Board found 65 officers guilty of using excessive force, abuse of authority, and lying to investigators for their roles during the Black Lives Matter protest. Do you agree with the CCRB findings? And are there any actions that you'll be taking here because of what they found here?
Hey, Dan, that's the headline, and the headline is, the sexy headline. But number one, I have to adjudicate these cases, so I won't get into the specifics. But I just got to say again, the stats are pretty compelling when you look at the number of officers in the NYPD that have never had a substantiated CCRB. I wish the media reported that a little more often, because I think that's really important. And there was a report last week, Dan, that's really important to say, that talked about profiling regarding social distancing leading up to the George Floyd period. And what the report that was released, I think this week, said was that the NYPD did a very good job and did not profile. Think back to last May when people were throwing gasoline on a city that was starting to smolder. I wish they had reserved their judgment and waited for the facts to come out, because we all paid a real high cost last year.
And Commissioner, I respect the fact that you're going to keep those adjudications private in the department. Happy to have these conversations, but I think it's important to talk about all aspects of them, what you're talking about, and also the 65 officers at the same time.
Hey, Dan, could I just say to that, you're right. I agree with you. But remember that we have now a discipline matrix. We have a dashboard where we release for the public to see what comes out of our trials. I mean, there's a high-profile trial going on this week. We are more transparent than ever, and probably the most transparent police department in the country, I would argue.
Commissioner, I want to pivot now to the deadline for city workers to comply with the vaccine mandate, just 2 days away. So where this morning does the NYPD stand in terms of vaccination rates?
As of yesterday, Dan, it's 73%. I think yesterday, in 1 day, we did 800 is the number I got. I don't know what happened late yesterday into this morning. This is a minute by minute at this point. We're going to have vaccination sites open through the weekend for the NYPD.
But Commissioner, with 73% and that number expected to go up by this weekend, there is still potentially hundreds, if not thousands, of officers being put on unpaid leave when this goes into effect who may not get that vaccine. Are you preparing for potential shortages here on the streets?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's a very real possibility. I'll be doing a video clip to the members of the NYPD as soon as this interview ends. Just send one last one. We'll be sending, again, notifications to people that our records say don't have the vaccination. And then we're planning for contingencies at the same time. So it's very much a a topic in the inner circle here.
What are some of those contingencies? Are you looking at overtime, double shifts?
Absolutely, all of the above.
Are any additional resources being brought in from anywhere else in the state, or that's not a possibility?
No, we'll handle it here, and New Yorkers will be safe.
All right, and I want to talk about school safety now. Hot topic during our Pix 11 mayoral forum earlier this week, Commissioner. I want to play just a quick clip of what the candidates had to say about the issue.
My plan is a simple plan. Number one, we must have school safety agents that are trained, paid well, and great at conflict resolution. We should use the new technology. There's technology out there that you don't have to dehumanize children that could identify a gun without the scanners and without the devices.
You've got to keep the school safety officers under the supervision of the NYPD. They only have 5,000 men and women, mostly of color. They're unarmed. Remember, every time they do an intervention to take a gun or a loaded gun, they're risking their lives.
So there has been an increase in the number of gun incidents at or near schools, Commissioner. You know this, we've talked about it. So do you believe that school safety officers should remain under the control of the NYPD?
I mean, that's a decision, Dan, that's not mine, but I've been on record since last May saying I think they do a great job, and I think we do a great job of supervision of them. I've talked to many parents, many educators that want NYPD to be in control. There are some that have a differing opinion, and I respect that too. What I don't like is that the school safety agents were used as a political ploy last year. And I think that, you should show some clips from last year, May and June, when people were calling them out and that they're heavy-handed. And I went very forceful against that. They do an amazing job every day keeping the kids of this city safe. And when I went up to Albany a week ago and mentioned 3 things that need to change, one of them was to raise the age, small sections of it. That's putting violent kids right back on the street again, gun collar after gun collar.
Commissioner, I only have 30 seconds left, but I do want to get your position on this. The mayor said he's moving ahead with safe injection sites throughout the city where people can use drugs under medical supervision. Do you support the plan, and will there be any police involvement near or around these sites?
I haven't been fully briefed on that. I would proceed with caution on that one. When you look at pulling the police away more and more from the scourge of drugs, take a look at those overdose numbers and look what has happened in recent years. Whatever is hoping to have happened has not, because the unintentional overdose deaths continue to climb. I think we need balance, and we got to be real careful with that plan.
Understood. Commissioner Shea, we always cover a lot of ground. Thank you, as always, for coming on, and we'll see you next time, okay?
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.